I'm calling this meeting to order. My name is Peter Hoffman, Chair of the Economic Development Committee. This is a remotely conducted open meeting. As a preliminary matter, this meeting may be audio or video recorded. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Paul Anderson,
Here.
Jason Rowell,
Here.
our newest member, Jenny Zukatinsky,
Here.
and I am Peter Hoffman with the quorum of the committee present. I call this meeting to order at 6:03 on Monday, October 27th, 2025. So first and foremost, let's welcome our newest member, Jenny. The virtual clap,
Thank you.
finally, after all the machinations that you had to go through.
Oh, yes.
Good that you're joined. So we'll do some ministerial stuff first, the minutes. Jason, I know you told me over email there, it's okay, but let me make a motion to adopt
I'll second that.
as proposed. Any further discussion? Paul,
Nope.
Jason?
Nope.
We'll take a vote. Paul
I'm in favor.
and Jason?
Favor.
And I'm in favor as well, so that gets the two sets of minutes. February 26th and July 16th out of the way. Which leads to, let's go to the easier one because I'm guessing there's no info. Anybody have any info on Stevens Family Foundation?
Not really, but when talking to Tim today, he has heard nothing. And they walked away, but it's not as if there's any for sale sign or anything else. I mean, he just doesn't see anything happening over there, period.
How bizarre.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe Ginny has more to add. I don't know. Maybe Ginny couldn't do anything because she wasn't.
Actually, regretfully, I do not. I have not been able to reach Mr. Stevens.
Okay.
I've never been able to reach him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that I tried to reach out through the website to get a contact information, and I had no luck there. I did drive by today. I saw no cars there. Perhaps I could stop and knock on the door, but I have not.
I have a little bit of contact info. I'll provide it to you by email after the meeting. And if you have time to knock on that contact door electronically, please.
Yeah, preferred, definitely.
That'd be great. Okay, good enough. Anybody have anything on River Bridge?
I can tell you that I spoke with Tim today, and he's heard nothing from them. They had something like when he last spoke to Matt Senni. Is it Matt? No, Chris. I think Chris Senni. He doesn't speak to the Senni brother that came to us. They had the potential. I don't know that I call it developer. The interested party had the opportunity, had 90 days, which seemed to have passed, and there's been no news that the planning board or anybody has heard of since that interaction more than 90 days ago. I think, Peter, I told you, maybe the whole group, the last time we had a call, that there was the opportunity for a hotel, and then this sort of venue / retail, not retail, but some restaurant, a group of restaurants, along with like a venue. And that was from a fellow in Westboro who, in theory, well, he owns property over there. But when I went and looked, given what my understanding became of where this is, it is, did I give everybody this update before?
Doesn't ring a bell. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's this is a person who owns property between where Boston Lawnmower is now and where the Westford Racket and Swim Club is. There's a building in between. And what that building contains is it's now become largely a good part of it appears to be a spa company or a salesman or a sales place. And the other part is a venue for weddings and banquets. And that the person who may own the building, but who is responsible for the banquets and wedding section is the person who's had interest in buying the site at Riverbridge, and then that would be the venue that they were after. But there are no restaurants or anything like that associated with the venue, his current venue in Westboro. It is simply basically a banquet hall. That would explain why he wanted what 200 parking spaces, which was just an inordinate number of parking spaces for the size of the lot where by Riverbridge. But no news beyond knowing that having that information. Tim was going to reach out, but he didn't get back to me today. He was going to try to reach out to Chris Senni to see whether there's anything going on. But at this point, there's no other news to report.
Well, would you like Chris Senni's phone number after the meeting?
Well, sure, you can pass that on to me, but I'm mostly go through Tim on this, but I wouldn't step on his, but yes, I'm happy to talk to Chris.
Okay, I'll provide that. I have nothing further beyond, we both, as you may or may not know, spoke to Tim. But I have nothing beyond that as
Yeah.
well. Seems the Sennies have all but disappeared or sold their interest or their interest.
I guess I don't know. We could find out, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Which leads to one small thing I had emailed about the activity across the street from Gates Pond Road. Tim believes that, do you all know the site I'm referring to? Next to the former little garage.
Yep.
Anyway, Tim's under the impression that they're just cleaning it up to sell it. Removing
Mhm.
dirt and trees and just make it more saleable and make it better looking. I have a neighbor who asked me about it and that's what caught my interest.
Is that by Marlborough Road?
I don't think so. I'll actually show you where it is. Let's see.
Because I drove by today and I saw some trees being cut. But it was more, and when they said greenhouses, I thought of a Michael, his last name escapes me, but that was not it.
No, Ginny, this I think is the trees are all gone by now. It's been cleared. Yeah, it's right across from Gates Pond Road, up on the other side of the small street from where the Japanese restaurant used to be. It's right on that, it's right on that
I'm
corner.
at the wrong end. Oh, yes, I noticed. Well, they had at one time approached the zoning board for a permit to put in a car wash. It did not get approved, and they then the party just said, well, we'll look into something else. Then I was very surprised. It almost seemed overnight all the trees were gone.
Right.
Yeah, across from the Shiro. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. All right, sorry, I was in the wrong spot altogether.
So I guess they're just prepping it.
Yeah.
So that settles that. So I spoke with Liz, both Paul and I spoke with Tim. And Paul, maybe I'll go second. Paul, do you want to chat about what you learned from Tim?
Did you learn the same thing?
I wasn't on your call.
I wasn't on a call. I was in the car with him today for 45 minutes.
And I spoke to Liz, but
Well, what did Liz say? I'll be interested to hear what Liz says before.
so I get the
email was very
impression.
short.
This is my impression from reading between the lines. Don't hold her or me to
Right.
it. But she thinks it'll close in December, not November.
Okay.
She would not say the name of the And to the buyer, though I believe I got it, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. She thinks it'll remain the same mall that it is for a couple of years. It'll take some time for it to transition to whatever its new purpose would be. I asked her if she would keep her job. She said she didn't know, but she was optimistic. And the bottom line about releasing the name was, until the court approves, the receiver approves the buyer, the prospective buyer to be the buyer, they don't want to release the name and publicize this and so forth. And vacancy wise, she says roughly the same. It sounds like there's some losses and some gains, but one gain is the Ascenda.
Yep, yep.
Ascend, is it Ascend? The Ninja type gym.
Yep.
Says it's really cool. It's 13,000 feet. Ninja Warrior participants work there and are part owners, and the owner, the primary owner, is a general contractor.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all that she told me. Now, I did learn from a little bit of sleuthing, and I unconfirmed that it's International Commercial Properties that's the prospective buyer. And if you they look very together and very large. I'll display it in a minute.
That is correct.
You got that info too, okay.
Yeah, that is who they are.
And that's all I've got from Liz and Tim, really. One thought I have is that given that Macy's, Penny's, and Sears are separate properties and have separate agreements intertwined between the different properties, I think it's going to be an absolutely difficult, not only sale to make, but agreement to make with what will happen to it. Because if all four parties don't agree, it could be a problem. And I think it could be a long, drawn out litigation if the cards don't fall in the right place. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, Tim and I talked about that a little bit. You know, no surprise. I think it's ICP has been in touch with Sears and Penny and Macy's. And Tim's expectation is what you're sort of saying along your lines, Peter, that it's going to be, they recognize if this sale goes through, they're in a much better place because their footprints will become more valuable because ICP is going to want them. Right now, they're not worth very much money because nobody wants to develop anything over there. But if ICP buys the mall, then they will have a desire to, get those buildings as well and develop them.
Well, but again, if it's not a quorum, if all four parties don't agree to all the terms, the whole thing is, in my view, halted.
Well, there aren't any terms that all four, it's ICP's got to be reasonably convinced that they can do what they want to do before the sale, before they'll finally say, yeah, we agreed to buy the property, the mall property, understanding that we have a fair amount of assurance that we can deal with Sears, Penny, and Macy's.
Agreed.
That's where they're going to be. They also, one of the things that Tim indicated to me is they're, as Tim said, they are basically in the Midwest. They have not been in New England. They thought they were going to walk into Marlboro and basically say, hey, we don't want any kind of special permit kind of requirements to do whatever we want to do. We just want you to write a zoning overlay or change your zoning bylaws to allow us to do anything we want. And Marlboro, never mind Berlin, said, whoa, wait a minute. This is New England. You're going to need to go through a special permit process for certain uses. And so it sounds like Meredith and the Marlboro government are on the same page largely with Berlin when it comes to, you're not just going to walk in here and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Tim said the same thing.
Okay, yeah. So,
Well, it'll be interesting to see what develops and how quickly it develops, because I was under the impression it was a November 1st closing. Now I'm hearing December.
right,
Of course, later than that would not be a shock.
no, agreed. But so it sounds like it's moving forward and these folks are, they know what they're doing based upon their website. They're very big. I think somewhere in that, on that website, Peter, there's got to be there's some summary of what they do and how they have 50 million square feet of retail, I think, or not of retail, of mixed, whatever their uses are, they're managing 50 million square feet.
That's enormous.
Yeah. Tim was able to find somewhere on here, maybe it's their portfolio.
One spot is 1.6 million feet in Brooklyn, Ohio.
Yeah. So they, and the companies that are their clients are, again, there was some place you could go on their website. There's nobody to sneeze at. They're all well-respected companies, big names. So, and it'll end up being some retail will remain. Macy's, for example, I think they would like to retain a footprint here, and have a store. And other stores could also remain if based on what Tim understands.
Yeah. 46.5 million square
So it's
feet.
close to the 50, right? So it's 46.5. Yep.
It's enormous.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they manage a lot of properties and overall huge. Yeah. So
Well, hopefully they've got their interest in the right place.
right. Well, I think they do. I mean, I think it'll be a good use. And the thing won't disappear.
Yeah.
And we're not going to have somebody come in. Remember, Liz talked about, the bottom feeders who come in and just run them all into the ground and then it's left abandoned. And that doesn't appear as if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Jason, Jenny? As Paul and I monopolize the whole meeting.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything really to add there. You know, my experience working with malls is they're pretty negotiable. Even the extra storefronts that are privately owned or owned by other businesses outside the mall, because that real estate isn't worth anything if nobody takes care of the bigger block. So I would see, to Paul's point, there's no way they would move forward if they didn't think the other owners would play ball.
Great.
And so that, you're right, Jason, that very well could be, I got a sense from Tim that there are negotiations going on, right? Even, I don't know about the Pennies and Sears, but with Macy's, how much of the Macy's footprint Macy's may want to retain. It sounded as if these new owners might suggest Macy's, you don't need to keep as big a footprint as you currently have. We'd be happy to buy it all from you and then lease back to you a smaller portion of it. And apparently Macy's said, well, it's not the case from a cost point of view for us, that if we have a smaller footprint, we're going to have lower costs necessarily. So it's just, there's clearly stuff happening behind the scenes.
Well,
For sure.
Yeah.
okay. Well, anything else anybody wants to add about this or anything else? Think we cover them all.
Yep.
Fire across from Gates Pond.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything more on the agenda unless anybody else has got something to add.
Nothing to add today. I mean, yeah. I wish there was more to say about River Bridge, is where I wish there was more to say, but it just, It's not moving, whatever's happening there does not move quickly.
Yeah, well, I'll get you Chris Senny's number, and Jenny, I'll get you a contact for the Stevens Family Foundation, and
Oh, thank you.
that's pretty much all I've got. Next meeting month, what month should we go for, maybe January?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
What
helpful
do-
for me.
What,
sounds good.
What, you don't want to have a meeting on December 10th?
No, not really.
December what?
10th, anytime early in December. I'm sure he'd love to have a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, no. Good, why don't I circulate, anybody have bad weeks or bad days of the week in the month of January?
Not right now, but shall we do a Monday or like the 5th or want to do the Monday, the 12th?
Works for me.
Sounds lovely.
Jenny?
Fine.
Good, so we'll plan that. And that's all we've got.
Okay.
It's a snappy meeting. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh,
All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Bye.
bye.
Aye.